Do you remember this assignment when we made, this is noisy, I'm sorry. Much better. Do you remember when we made this assignment? We put the foam white geometric forms. We shined a really bright light source on the shapes, and we drew the shadows as good as we could. We were learning about value. What we are going to do is try that today with Photoshop, and we're going to do it like this. All right, we're going to use some tools we have not used in the toolbar today. We're going to use the gradient tool. So to start this project, Adobe Photoshop, open, new file. You can do file, new file, or you can just do new file. It's easy. We are going to do 18 by 12 inches like we did last time, but instead of RGB color, this is going to be a black and white picture. So let's go down to grayscale, click on that, and create. There is our picture. Because it's in grayscale, no matter what color you pick up here, it will be different shades of gray down here. Click, 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 click. Even if I did blue, even if I did yellow, it's all gray. Here's what we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna make some guides just so I can draw some straight lines. It's easy to delete guides if you need to. I'm going to make these different geometric shapes in different layers. There is a rectangular cube, a rectangular prism, I believe it's called, a cube, a sphere, a cone, and a pyramid shape. I said those might not be in the right order, but whatever. One way to do this assignment, let's make the rectangle, the rectangular prism. If I click on that, I'm going to open a new layer. I'm going to call this one rectangular prism. I might even misspell it, and that's okay. I want to fill this with gray. Done. There we go. If I have a horizontal guide right here, I can get my polygon lasso tool, draw it like that, and maybe I can get a lighter gray and fill that in. Is that my paint bucket tool? Yes. Just like that. Rectangular prism, done. That was pretty easy. Let's go to View, Guides, Clear Guides. In a new layer, I'm going to write cone. Now the cone I'm going to do a little bit differently. The cone, I'm going to start with a black circle. I'm going to grab the elliptical marquee tool. I'm going to make sure these things are at 0 feathering. I'm going to draw a very flat or very wide elliptical marquee like this. I can move this down. And now if I use my guides to maybe find the center of this one, I think Photoshop is helping me find it. I can take my polygon lasso tool, fill this in black, and now I've got the cone shape. Now, unfortunately, because there was feathering going on, I do have this little area to contend with. That's not too big a deal. If I get the pencil tool and draw over it, that is my cone. Now, View, Guides, Clear Guides. I can shrink this if I want to. Maybe about right there is pretty good. Now, with my magic wand tool, I'm still in the cone layer. If I click on this, the whole thing is selected. Maybe I want to fill the whole thing white. Oh, no, that's light gray. Maybe I want to fill the whole thing in with light gray. If I go to my brush tool and I make sure that it is a very soft brush, maybe a hardness at 5%, I can click on white and draw a white edge on this side. In fact, what I could do is make a new layer, click on that, it's called layer 1. I can take the black, if you hold down shift, you'll get a straight line like that. But you might be thinking that's really dark. I can go to opacity on this layer and darken it up if I want to. Maybe make it 47%, 14%, 5%, 100% is black. I can do that. And if I do that, I can go to merge down. And from there, just to make it, I can magic wand outside of it, and you see the marching ants around the perimeter of my picture and the cone. I've selected everything outside of it. I want to go to select inverse, and with the white brush again, make sure it's soft. I can do a straight edge like that along the side. That actually looks pretty good. The pyramid. Watch this in a new layer. Pyramid. I can draw a triangle right here. I can fill the whole thing in black again. I can copy this side here, do that, and fill that in with a gray, just like that. And that's my pyramid. The tool I told you that we have not used yet is the gradient tool. Hiding inside the paint bucket tool, if I click on gradient tool, a gradient is a gradual change from one color to the next. I believe I'm going from this red, but in grayscale it looks like this, to white. Let's make the second color light gray. So it's going, if you look at my color options here, it's going from light gray to dark gray. If I select this pyramid with my gradient tool and draw a line from one point to the next, you can see it gets from light to dark. Let me flip that over. Let's do light to dark, or dark to light. Let's do dark to light. You can change it that way. Now I need to select inverse. I'm still in my pyramid layer. I want to make this side of the triangle white with the paint bucket tool, just like that. And now if I turn off all these eyes, my pyramid looks like that. I'm thinking my pyramid looks darker than my cone. I'm going to want to go up here to brightness contrast and make the whole thing brighter like this. Check. The sphere. New layer. Sphere. This is easy. If I hold down shift with my left hand and draw the perfect circle with this hand, I can make a perfectly white sphere like that. What you can do now is you can take your gradient tool, make it gray to light gray. Grab the gradient tool, and draw it like that. But that looks like a very flat circle. So I'm going to go to Edit, Undo, and I wanted to show you this. If I make a new layer where I can adjust it, let me go to black, let me go to soft brush right here. If I make this brush bigger than my circle and click it down here, now I clicked it twice, 3 times. Now that looks more like a sphere. And again, because I'm in this layer up top, I can adjust the opacity to make it the right shade of gray that I want. Merge down, and this is a problem we had last week, which is not a problem. But I need to make these all the same size by shrinking them. If I click on one layer, hold down Shift and click the other layers, they're highlighted, I can shrink these all at the same time in the same percentage. Let's do 90%. Move this here, move my cone over here. I can put the pyramid about right here, the cone right here. In fact, the sphere right here. In fact, I can make the sphere a little bit smaller. Last one, new layer, is the cube. Draw a square. I'm going to make this a white cube. Fill it white with the paint bucket. Check. I'm going to magic wand it, get a new layer, go to my gradient tool. Let's make this black to dark gray. Gradient tool here. Oh, let me go in the other direction. Check, just like that. And now, like I did before with the opacity tool, I can change that up and merge it down. So I am going to click on my polygon lasso tool. I'm going to make this white with the paint bucket tool, just like that. And while that is highlighted, I will take a gray and a very soft brush. I'm going to shrink this. There is a shadow cast right here. So now I can move this cube behind the sphere. I can shrink it. Oh man, I need to shrink everything else. So highlight rectangular prism up to the cube. Edit transform scale. Nope, not the cube. Edit transform scale. I can put the sphere in front of the cube, move the cube over here. And now merge visible. I'm going to get a new layer, and with my polygon lasso tool, I'm going to fill this in black. I'm going to adjust. Those are my shadows. Merge visible, submit this as a JPEG. See ya.